Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to another paycheck breakdown video. Every 2 weeks when I get paid, I sit down with you guys and go through exactly how I budget my paycheck, where all my money goes, kind of take you through the process of how I decide what to budget and where I want my money to go. This is an interesting month because it's a 3 paycheck month. This is also the last month that I'm still gonna be part-time, which is exciting. Next month, I'm going back to working full-time. My next few paycheck breakdowns will be a little bit different and that's exciting. I do apologize for back-to-back financial videos. I try to usually split them up a little bit more and like throw some lifestyle videos in between, but just the way that it worked out, video right before this is like my monthly budget and then this is my paycheck breakdown. So I apologize for all the financial videos and there's gonna be a lot this month because I do have 3 paychecks. So bear with me. I know a lot of you probably followed me for some of these videos. I'm gonna try to make this one a little bit shorter as well. I always end up yapping for so long and then I end up cutting them down anyway. A little about me. My name is Allison. I'm 29 years old. I work part-time in healthcare. I'm a radiation therapist. So I get paid bi-weekly. I'm an hourly employee, so my pay can range slightly just depending on how many hours I work. I'm also married with no kids. Currently, we rent, we don't own a house, and my main financial goals are to pay off my car by the end of this year and save as much as we can for a house because we are hoping to move into a house early next year. Or at least start the process early next year. So that's a little background about me. Let's get right into it. This is the paycheck I got paid on May 2nd. I mentioned this a lot, but I used the Notes app on my phone to budget for the week. And I put at the top May 2nd through the 15th. That's the 2 weeks before I get paid next. So I need to take a look at anything that might come up, any bills or anything due in like those 2 weeks. That's how I budget. Some people don't do it that way. That's just what makes sense to me, and like when that money comes in, that's the money that like goes out during those 2 weeks. My paycheck was $1,509.15, so it was a little lower than what I was expecting. It's just weird because sometimes they'll round up to 48 hours because I work 3 days a week for 2 weeks. So that's 48 hours, but sometimes like I leave a little bit early, like we've been ending a little early, so I'll just leave. So it's weird because sometimes they'll round up to 48 and this time they didn't. So I don't really care because when they round up, they'll take like my PTO to round it up. So I don't really care because like I'm the one leaving early. I could sit and wait and like get the full 48 hours, but I also work an hour away from home, so I don't want to sit there for a half an hour when like that's a half an hour I could be on the road. You know what I mean? Like my time is a little more important to me than this extra $20 to $30 that I would get in this paycheck. That was my income, and then I had $153.76 carry over from my last pay period, which is actually a lot for me. You'll see in the budget like why I left that much carrying over because I had like a bunch of I had a little more expenses during these first 2 weeks, so I knew that I needed that to be a little bit higher to carry over because I needed to cover some like gifts and things. I am who I am. Like I know who I am. I know I'm gonna spend money. So like I might as well budget money for books or food or like clothes or something. Like giving yourself a budget of even like $20 is more helpful than trying to constantly budget $0 in a category because then like you're almost always gonna overspend. Whereas like maybe if you give yourself wiggle room, you might actually be like, okay, that's right, I have $20 to spend, like, and then maybe you only spend that much. So I'm trying to be a little more realistic with myself and my budget. Anyway, if you add those two together, my total to like budget with is $1,662.91. And then we get into all of the expenses. So the one interesting thing I didn't do this paycheck was save for my rent. I had to kind of like adjust a little bit. So instead of like saving anything for rent, I decided to use my next 2 paychecks to save for rent and just kind of use this as my, I guess, extra paycheck. Like obviously I still had a lot of the bills and stuff that need to come out. The first few things are usually the ones that are set up direct deposit anyway. So these just kind of standard go into these separate accounts. So the first one was $50 into my savings account, which At the moment, that's going into sinking funds for weddings, events, bachelorette trip, things that I have coming up in the next like 2 months. So that's where that's going currently. Then into our joint savings account, I put $150. This is our house saving fund. We both like to put money in there every single paycheck while we're also still trying to reach our other goals. That way when we do, that account will be like ready to go. As soon as I pay off my car and he is working on like one last credit card, we'll be like good to go. And then into our grocery account, I put $125. And then towards my car, I put $400. This was the start of like a new payment cycle. So I did put $332.60 to the actual payment because the payment was due. And then I can put in there specifically, I want this extra $67.40 to go directly towards the principal of the loan. And then any more payments I make between now and I think the 21st of May will go directly towards the principal of the loan because that's when the payment cycle like starts again. So that was exciting. We love making payments to the car loan. I love seeing that number go down. And then I take a look at any subscriptions coming out during the next 2 weeks, and I have 4. Hulu, which is $9.99. Apple payment is $2.99 for like storage. My Aura Ring is $6.35 and Netflix is $15.49. So total subscriptions is $34.82. I always have to budget for pets because typically at least every 2 weeks we're getting cat litter because I have 2 cats. So we do go through cat litter pretty quickly. So every single paycheck, at least I'm budgeting a little bit for the cats. The charge for this already came out. I think I had originally budgeted about $32. I like to over budget, and then when the actual payment comes out, it can be a range, but usually that's like at least me over budgeting. So the 2 things of cat litter actually came out to $25.61, which was lower, and actually lower than like it usually is. So there must have been some kind of deal or something, which was really nice. Then I also budgeted $90 for my nails. A little pricey, I know. So I go to like an independent nail artist. She does an amazing job. I know that my nails are like healthy. Typically it would be closer to like $85, but I did get chrome this time, so that's a little bit extra. Next, this is where I was mentioning I had to switch around my budget just a little bit because I had 2 people I needed to buy gifts for. My husband's birthday is like in a couple days, so I needed to buy him a gift card, and then like I bought some decorations and stuff. So I needed to budget $100 for him. And then I'm also going to a bridal shower, so I budgeted $100 for that. So $200 for gifts. Obviously, normally I don't do that. That was like a big chunk that I was like, okay, I need to take that from somewhere, so that came from the rent. Which worked out well because I knew that I had 2 more paychecks this month to save for the rent. So it's not like I was like, that's the first thing to go, but like I just knew that that's not due till June 1st, so I can forego that for the time being and pay for these gifts from this paycheck. You know what I mean? We also went out to dinner, and again, it's funny because we already, like, a lot of this stuff happened already, like, during the first, like, 3 or 4 days of this pay cycle. I already know the specific amount that I paid for dinner. Probably budgeted around $60 at first, but it ended up being $54.29. Then I did also put $200 towards my credit card. I know, I keep saying this every single video that I need to like stop doing that. Basically, I need to keep paying it off from like the previous paycheck. I'm almost caught up to where like I won't need to, like I'll always be paying it off immediately. It's been a weird few months with that. And then I will also budget $100 for gas. So those are all the expenses and things I need to budget for from this paycheck. So when you add all of that up, it comes to $1,429.72. And then if you subtract that from the $1,662, which is what I had to budget with, that leaves me with $233 for the next 2 weeks, which is pretty standard, I would say. I like to be in that $200 to $300 range. All right, so that was pretty much everything. Now what I'm gonna do is add in all of this onto my spreadsheet so that I can keep track of everything. I do have quite quite a bit of expenses already to add into here too. When I'm filming this, it's the 4th, so I mean, it's only been 2 days, but I do have quite a bit of expenses to add into here. You already know. Use the Coplenty Yearly 2.0 budget template to track all my expenses. Really just helps me keep track of like literally everything that's coming out during the month and make sure I'm staying on track. In my last video, I set up the budget with you guys, and now I can add in at least the first paycheck, $1,509.15. So a little under budget, which again, I don't normally budget under, but I thought they were gonna round up to 48 hours because that's what they normally do. Now we can add in down here, this is the transaction tracker. So anything that I've already paid or set aside in savings or anything like that, that can go down here, and then it will track that money in its correct category. I guess the first thing I'll add in is the rent, because I did pay that on May 1st. Then I can add in the savings. I like to add these in too because, again, I sort of mentioned this in my last video. Usually at the end of the month, my total income and total expenses pretty much add up because all of my money has a spot. Like, I like to make sure that I track pretty much every dollar. And when you track your savings in this, it will make sure that like that money has a spot. So I'll put $50 into sinking funds, and I like to usually just write here, can I spell? Bachelorette. That might have been spelt wrong. I don't care. Just so like if I ever want to go back and look and see like, okay, what exactly was that expense, or what exactly did I want to save that for? It's just right there. $150 into our house fund. I don't track the groceries until we actually go and like purchase groceries, but I will put in my car payment. I can put in when we went out to dinner. I did also pay the internet, put in the cat litter. It's funny because I track it on my phone as well. I use the Spend Notes app. This is just so that like when I have this out and about, like when I make any kind of purchase, I put it in here, and then I can come and like put it in here on my laptop. There is a Google Sheets app that like I could open on my phone, but for some reason I like just doing it on my laptop better. So usually when I'm out and like anytime I like swipe my card, make a purchase, I keep track of it on my phone. Maybe once or twice a week, I come and sit down and just add everything in on the actual template. I wouldn't want to do it all like at the end of the month and try to keep track that way because I would feel very overwhelmed. But if you do this maybe like once or twice a week, then you can keep up with it, and that also helps you take a look at everything you're spending and be like, oh goodness, like maybe I'm spending too much this week, or maybe I'm spending too much on food or eating out, maybe I need to cut back. So that's a good way to kind of keep track. Like I feel like keeping a budget is really important, and like tracking is really important because you're just obviously being a little more aware of where your money is going. Then on the second I had so many charges come out already this month. It's actually insane. So I did $75 gift. That was a gift card. I did already get my nails done. I bought a couple of cards for like birthday, Mother's Day, the bridal shower, so I brought out those. Oh, this was not a necessary purchase for sure, but I needed a new moisturizer, and I bought one other new like foundation, so I did not need that. And then also I track all of my subscriptions down here. This was this stupid helium. I had to buy a helium tank to fill up balloons, so I'm gonna put that in gifts as well. Then I also took out the $100 for my friend's bridal shower, so that'll also go in gifts. So see, this is exactly what I mean when I say this is nice tracking, because I've realized I've already spent so much money and it's the 4th of the month, so I need to chill out. Yesterday I bought gas, groceries, and that's everything, but that's a lot. What I like about this too is it like breaks down everything really nicely and like shows you all these nice little graphs. I can already see that I did go a little bit over on the gifts. It's not gonna be perfect, and obviously if you watch any of my monthly budget videos, it's not perfect. I'm not perfect at all. I overspend in at least 3 or 4 categories every single month. I mean, that's the beauty of it. Like obviously you try your best to stick to the budget, but I will always say this, I'm a huge advocate for balance just living life. You make money to spend it. You know what I mean? You make the money, you work hard to enjoy life. And life is so much more important than like working your life away. That's my 2 cents. That's my budget this paycheck. I'm so excited to keep sharing these with you and take you guys along this month. Before we go, I will share with you guys my car loan update because it's an exciting one. It's super exciting. After I made the $400 payment, my new balance is $9,980. So we made it under $10,000, which feels awesome. Like, it's such a big milestone and I'm so excited. And again, I feel like this month is going to be a good month. I'm supposed to get some brand deal payments, just like extra paychecks in general. So I should be able to make some decent progress towards this car loan. And then I kind of looked ahead, and when I start working full-time again, I'm also going to be able to put like a good chunk extra towards my car loan too. So honestly, I think my timeline has moved up. I tried to do like a rough estimate, and I think it's possible I can even get this paid off by October. So that's really exciting. It will probably go back up over 10,000 just slightly before my next payment because of interest. Like, every day I log on, it changes because I get interest daily on that loan, which kind of stinks. The next payment I make will be under, and will be solidly under 9,000 or under 10,000. So exciting. I can't wait till that is gone and out of my life. For now, at least. I would love to have a good, like, solid few years, like good chunk with no car loan, and then all that extra money that I've been putting towards it, I can put towards saving and buying a house and moving and getting furniture for a house and all of that good stuff, or any renovations we want for the house. Like, that's what I do in my head. I spiral 10 steps ahead, but I'm excited. I feel like it's gonna be a really good month, and I can't wait to keep continuing to share all of this with you guys. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you guys so much. I will see you guys soon in my next video. I promise it will not be a financial video. We have a couple of more fun vlogs, a closet clean out video. We have a bunch of videos coming that are not finance related, but thanks for sticking around if you do like the finance videos. I will see you guys soon in my next video.